let's talk about the vaccine passports and what we think about it, how we feel about it, and all that kind of stuff.
I don't even like the way the word looks.
So, I honestly, full disclosure, haven't looked too much into vaccine passports. I just really am not for the whole idea and concept of it all. Biden came out and apparently said that he's not going to use the government to establish it. He's going to let the market do it, which is even more, I think, kind of. I don't know if the word would be manipulative, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's like, that's okay, bro.
You have to let him get away with that. You have to let him get away with that.
I
because
understand.
Trump probably would have did the same thing because he had no choice.
No, but then my rebuttal would have been, what if Trump came out and said a vaccine passport?
That's what I'm saying. He would have had to do the same thing. No, not like forced it. He would have had to let the private sector determine it because that's all we have.
Well, I guess my thing I'm focusing on when I say that was the reaction to the vaccine passports. Obviously, the people on the right.
He knew what the reaction would be.
Obviously, people on the right were like, hell no. And then people on the left were like, oh, it's such a great idea. But if the roles were switched, I would argue. Well, I'm reluctant to admit that people on the right would be like, yes, Trump did it. I'm down. Maybe that's my bias, but I feel like the left would be like, no, Trump's doing this. Oh, dictator. Oh, fascist.
Yeah, I don't even think people would
He's
believe
separating us. Actually, you're right. The narrative would have gotten weird.
Exactly. That's why.
I completely agree. But I'm just saying he played this well because literally any president would have to. We only have two sectors, and we know we don't want the government to enforce this. This is Pontius Pilate washing his hands of the resurrection of Jesus. I mean, the crucifixion of Jesus.
China did this shit even before there was a vaccine, where they separated people in the cities. If you
let the people decide. I wash my hands clean of this. That's exactly what he did. Y'all can blame yourselves.
It's just weird to me. I don't know.
It's 100% weird. I don't believe in none of this shit. And I see passports, and I think of it as athletic challenge to get by showing them my passport.
I mean, what could also argue, if I'm trying to play devil's advocate, is we already have to prove that we have a certain amount of vaccines when we do go to certain countries.
100%.
It's just, I guess my question is, does COVID need to be on that list? Because COVID
just changed my mind a little bit.
Because COVID has a survival rate amongst a certain age group of 99.97, and once you get past, I think it's like 660 or something like that, it does go down. So that's why
I think based on the variants of COVID and like our continued study of it, I think that should be our final determination on it.
I just think it's too soon.
Put it on the list.
I just think it's too soon to do that.
Honestly, now I think we put it on the list until we know for sure it should be on the list.
That's fair.
I think if we have to leave to another country, then yeah, it makes sense if their policies are that, and I don't want to like impede on them. But within our own country, I don't.
If I go to Tennessee
agree with it,
and show
the government.
Say that again, Doc.
I don't agree with the government enforcing it. I do agree that if a business is just like, hey, I only want to serve to people with passports, then I'm just like, well, that's your business, because I mean, you can kind of essentially discriminate who you want to and not to. You can't do it based off of like race and like age or sex and stuff like that. But you can still choose to refuse service and stuff like that. So
that's wild.
That's up to them if they want to do it. Texas has already made it illegal though.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
And Florida too.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Our two hearts.
What were you gonna say?
I said our two hearts. Florida ain't shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. They can get some shit right, but Florida ain't. They ain't on shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. That state right there is really Sodom and Gomorrah right now. That state,
Florida?
Wow. Like that state, oh my God. The debauchery going on down right there right now. People are going to Miami for 2 days, not leaving for weeks. Weeks. Because of all the debauchery going down out there. Everything's open.
Everybody there's got
people doing jelly shots off of belly buttons.
Fine. Everybody there has got no virus. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, cases are going down, Florida and Texas.
Yeah, they all got it already.
They're herd immunity, man. We finally got it. We finally achieved it. Wasn't that the goal, though?
It was at that one party. that all of Florida party. Attended. I'm telling you. All of Florida's been attending one party.
It was that spring break surge.
But hey, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I don't know what to talk about here because it just comes down to whether or not you like the idea, you don't like the idea before you're like, the initial idea of it just makes me uneasy. And then my bias is I just think it's interesting that Biden, if Trump did it, it would have been a different reaction than Trump. And then also, I just feel like it's just too soon. We don't have we have enough data to show that COVID's at a certain age group, within a certain age group, is not as deadly, or at least like it's not as serious. So to go as extreme as require a passport to travel to prove you've been vaccinated just seems like an overreaction. That's why, like the point you said, like maybe we wait a little bit or have it tempered until we get more information.
It can't be. It can't be national
like
travel either. It definitely can't be national. I don't care what.
International, like
the conclusion
Doc said, makes sense.
But
Like you
not
go with other
national.
countries, they have other things. Like you got to be respectful of what they want, even if you don't like it or agree with it. Like it's not your home.
Yeah.
It's not your exact.
It's
like,
not your choice.
But domestically, it's like, dude,
Come
if
on,
I want to
dude.
go somewhere, like, in the argument I saw,
Are you gonna put checkpoints at every state line?
right?
Mm-hmm.
The argument I saw was apparently that I don't remember the specifics of the argument because I thought it was kind of a stretch. Was apparently you could apply the Roe v. Wade court ruling to it because that ruling ruled that the government can't impede on your medical kind of privacy. Like you have a right to your medical privacy. Like you don't have to reveal that stuff. Like no, that's my private stuff. I don't have to tell you anything about it.
The thing I actually thought was interesting
I don't know.
was
It's just interesting.
But there's a I don't know if it's on Roe v. Wade, but there's different circumstances based on that too. Because for example, if I have HIV, God forbid, and I'm sexually active with someone, if I
disclose
don't,
that.
I can go to jail. Based on the
Oh, I can see that being like a
Yeah.
weird loophole. But oh man, COVID's so much more vague than HIV. I think.
100%,
Yeah.
and they're not the
That-
same
that
thing at all.
fucking
But I'm just saying,
sucks.
in
Like,
America,
I know
we
what you're trying
use
to say,
things to
though.
skate.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, unfortunately,
It's just weird how we're able to navigate. Like in one way we have this way, but in a completely different way, it's just
it's trickish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Fucking
weird.
trickish and manipulative.
It
Like,
really is.
that's how we are here.
The one that I was seeing that was
Weasels.
kind of shitty and hard to deal with is like, does your employer have the right to fire you for not having a fucking
Ooh.
vaccine? Because
You open it
if
up.
I mean, you have like within like the white collar sector, you have people at home right now working from computers and stuff like that. Well, if they reopen the office and the only rules to going back into the office is that you need a passport, if they force you, you have to come to a decision if you're quit or if your company fires you for not accepting a passport, if they're no longer going to allow you to work from home. And
I don't
you
understand.
have to-
I don't know the specifics of the Roe v. Wade argument for this, but from my lack of understanding, it would that would go against the whole privacy thing. Like that's my privacy. I don't have to disclose whether or not I got it or I didn't get it.
But you have to disclose whether I'm putting you in threat.
Then your argument with the HIV thing.
Like if I'm threatening you by, and that's the thing.
But we're all
Is
working from
COVID a
home.
fucking threat for? I'm so sorry. Never mind. Erase it. Erase it. I'm sorry. Just erase what I just said. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just
I
a hard
feel
place
like we're not
to be
saying
in,
what we
man.
really want to say.
Which is what?
COVID. Like it's
Yeah.
not the same as AIDS. Am I allowed to say that?
No, I completely agree with you. It's not nowhere near.
But the argument would be made, and we'd have to accept it. Sometimes man.
I just feel like it's a reaction, an overreaction. I feel like it's an argument you've made before. Like we love to overreact to things.
All the time. Everything we do here is overreaction.
So if you kill somebody without like knowing about it, is it called like an unbiased murder? You're just like, I didn't even know I did it.
Yeah, I
It's
was
like,
gonna
no,
say,
you
you
fucking
still
did it,
catch
dude.
a murder charge. You still catch the charge. I think it's like manslaughter or something instead of
No, I
murder.
think it is third-degree murder.
Or it's third-degree murder that's on accident.
Because if you knowingly,
That's manslaughter if you know. Correct?
No, manslaughter I think is something like an accident is manslaughter.
Okay, so then yeah, it
And
would
the
be
third
manslaughter.
degree is if you knowingly did something and it led to a death. That would
Oh,
be
because you
third
knew you
degree.
had the disease.
Exactly.
Well, if you
'Cause-
don't know though, because if you're
'cause-
asymptomatic, you just didn't go get tested.
And now we have to introduce lie detectors all of a sudden to the
Yeah.
judicial system because we have to believe or not believe did he know or not.
Yeah.
Like, come on, son.
Intent, the whole intent thing. You can't prove intent. That's really difficult.
Ever. This
Yeah.
is stupid.
Yo, so thanks for watching a clip of FDT. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, like the clip, leave a comment, and check out our page for more content. Tune into full episodes of FDT released every Friday on Podbean, iTunes, and Spotify. Peace.